You've probably circled the big milestones on the calendar: first smile, first roll, first laugh, waiting for these obvious moments to know your baby's brain is developing well. But here's what most parents never realize: some of the most important brain growth happens quietly, with no visible first to celebrate, no photo worthy moment at all. And it's happening constantly, for free, right in front of you. Researchers who study early brain development call these invisible leaps silent milestones. Real, measurable neurological growth that doesn't show up as a single dramatic event, but builds steadily in the background. Most parents have never heard this term, because these milestones don't make it onto the charts taped to the pediatrician's wall. Think of it like a plant growing underground before any sprout breaks the surface. Nothing visible seems to be happening, but the roots are doing the real work that makes everything else possible later. Picture this. Your baby is lying quietly, staring at the ceiling fan, not smiling, not reaching, seemingly doing nothing at all. But behind those still eyes, her brain is quietly mapping motion, tracking patterns, building the exact skills she'll need later to follow a bouncing ball or a moving face. That stillness is the first silent milestone on this list. Dr. Patricia Kuhl, whose research at the University of Washington's Institute for Learning and Brain Sciences has shaped how we understand early infant learning, found that these silent neurological leaps happen in babies across every background, language, and household setup. A baby doesn't need flashcards, imported toys, or a specific home environment to build these foundations. The equity note here is reassuring. This growth happens simply through ordinary exposure to faces, voices, and light, things every baby already has access to. Here's a study that shows just how much is happening beneath the surface. In research using brain imaging on young infants, scientists tracked neural activity while babies simply watched everyday objects move across their field of vision. On the surface, the babies looked passive, barely reacting. But the brain scans told a different story. Specific regions lit up each time, strengthening connections related to visual tracking and prediction. Over repeated sessions, those same regions responded faster and more efficiently, even though nothing about the baby's outward behavior seemed to change at all. Here's why this matters more than most parents realize. These quiet moments of watching, listening, and simply existing in your presence happen dozens of times throughout a single day, which means the version of doing nothing you might feel guilty about is actually happening constantly, and it's already working in your baby's favor. Here are 3 simple ways to support these silent milestones today. First, give your baby unstructured watching time instead of constant stimulation. Set her where she can freely observe her surroundings: a window, a moving mobile, you working nearby, without feeling the need to entertain her every second. You might simply say, "You just watch for a bit," and let her eyes do the work. Second, narrate what she's likely tracking with her gaze. If she's staring at your hands while you fold laundry, you might say, "You're watching my hands go up and down, aren't you?" This connects the visual tracking happening in her brain to language, layering 2 kinds of growth at once. Third, resist the urge to redirect her attention the moment she goes quiet or still. A quiet, focused baby isn't necessarily bored, she may be deeply processing. You can simply stay nearby and say softly, "I'm right here," instead of introducing a new toy or sound to fix the silence. Now compare this to the infant stimulation programs, milestone tracking apps, and brain-boosting toy subscriptions marketed to parents. These products are often built around constant structured input: flashing lights, scheduled activities, a new toy every week. But a baby's brain also needs unstructured, quiet observation time to consolidate what it's learning, something no toy subscription provides, because it isn't about giving more, it's about allowing space. These quiet, still moments aren't a pause in your baby's development. They're some of the deepest work happening in her entire first year, laying groundwork for focus, prediction, and understanding that will shape how she learns for years to come. If you've ever felt guilty watching your baby simply stare off, doing nothing, you weren't failing her, you were giving her exactly what she needed. Here's the simple recap. Stillness isn't empty, it's building. If this changes how you see those quiet moments, share it with another parent who might be chasing constant stimulation, and consider subscribing for more gentle, science-backed reminders like this one.